AEW Wrestledream was this past weekend. It was an incredible show, as always, for every AEW pay-per-view. They do not miss. I have yet to watch an AEW pay-per-view over their 6 years as a business, as a company, a promotion. That has been bad. It's near impossible for them, it seems like. And this was another great show. I'm going to go over every match. I'm bringing back my Cans of Whoop-Ass review metric. If you've been here before to see that, you know how it goes. If not, I'll explain how it goes on this episode of Screw the Script. Welcome back, everybody, to Screw the Script. I'm your host, as always, Maverick. Thanks for joining me. It was a great weekend. I hope you enjoyed Wrestledream as much as I did. Like I said in the intro, I'm bringing back the Cans of Whoop-Ass review metric. If you've been here before, you know how it goes. If you're new to it, if you're a new subscriber and you haven't seen this yet, essentially, I have a 0 to 6 Cans of Whoop-Ass review metric. That's like a star rating, but I do Cans of Whoop-Ass instead. A 3 out of 6 is an average match. 4 is good. 5 is great. 6 is a perfect match. You get the idea. We're going to do a little bit differently because there was so much on this card, and usually when I do these videos, they're quite lengthy. I'm going to try and shorten it without missing out on all the topics that I do want to talk about from the show, but just in a quicker, more efficient fashion this time around. So basically what I'm going to do as we kick into it, here's the card up there real quick before I start reviewing. Look at that fucking card. Wrestledream was better than WrestlePalooza. I'm going on record right now before I even get into this review. It was way fucking better. WrestlePalooza was not a very good show. Let's just be honest. I know that was over a month ago now, but we're going to compare the two because they both have Wrestle in their name. It was September, so close enough. Wrestledream is one of AEW's newer pay-per-views, and WrestlePalooza was brand new. And then there's WrestleMania, which is a whole nother thing. Honestly, I might even say this was better than WrestleMania. You could disagree with me down below. That's quite fine. I really liked the show, so let's get into it. First off, we're going to start from 0 and up to 6. Were there any 0 out of 6 matches in this pay-per-view? No. And my God, the day that there is a 0 out of 6 for a pay-per-view show for AEW, just kill me. Anyways, no 0 out of 6s. We'll skip that. 1 out of 6, there were no 1 out of 6 matches. We'll skip that. 2 out of 6, no 2 out of 6 matches. We'll skip that. Yet again, before I even get any further, this shows that, in my mind, how I feel about pro wrestling shows. This is one of the reasons why their pay-per-views never miss. I don't think I've ever seen an AEW pay-per-view that's had a match that I would rank a 0, 1, or even a 2 out of 6, which a 2 out of 6 is below average. Now going on to 3 out of 6 Cans of Whoop-Ass matches, average matches. I'm going to go with the opening match right up here, Jamie Hayter, who picked up the win. Like I said, an average match. We saw Jamie Hayter versus Tekla. I really do like Tekla. I predicted her to win this, actually, but it was Jamie Hayter that ended up winning. The reason why I put this at a 3 out of 6 is I don't think it's going to be a match that I personally will remember years from now. Yes, it was Tekla. I believe it was Tekla's first ever singles pay-per-view match. I could be wrong, but just the way that it played out, not just because I got it wrong, putting that aside, humbling myself, I got that match wrong. I believe I only got 2 matches wrong, though, for the entire evening. It's really strange that I really thought Tekla was going to win by cheating, and it's really strange that not only did that not happen, and she just straight up lost, but then after the match, the rest of the Triangle of Madness, which I really don't like that name. Maybe it'll grow on me, but right now I don't like that group name. It's a little generic, I think, or corny almost. They just, Julia Hart and Sky Blue just stood up there at the top of the ramp and looked down at Jamie Hayter and did nothing. They did nothing. I don't know. Just kind of a whiff almost match, but still a 3 out of 6 Cans of Whoop-Ass. The only other 3 out of 6 Cans of Whoop-Ass match is going to be the Hurt Syndicate Trios match against the Gates of Agony. and Ricochet, who go by The Demand, which I also think is kind of a corny and, I don't know, generic name. You could disagree with me on these names as well down below. That's quite all right. I'm not here to be the be-all, end-all, like some channels out there. Like, you could disagree with me. That is completely fine. Some channels out there, and you know the ones that I'm talking about, that like to hate on AEW and just think that their opinions are fact and aren't debatable by any means. Those people can screw off. Yeah, this match just, I think what it is for me is that I don't really care about the feud. I think that's really the gist of it, the huge thing about it, that for me anyway, I just can't get into it. And so the match, and it was good to see MVP in there again. He can still go in the ring, so props to him. End up coming out on top this time around. So maybe they will have a rubber match at some point, and then I think they can just move on from this feud. So that's the only other match that gets a 3 out of 6 cans of whoop ass. Now we're going to 4 out of 6 cans of whoop ass matches. We got a few here as well. We're actually going to put the main event in this. It was an above average match. I really don't think it was that great of a main event AEW championship match. Sorry, I misspoke there. Not the main event I quit match. The main event, co-main event I should say, the main title match between Samoa Joe and Adam Page. Not much of a build. It was just, a drop of a belt and Samoa Joe taking it the wrong way and calling out Hangman, saying he's not a real champ and that he's, not a true champion that's worthy of carrying the belt or whatever it was that he said. The match itself was okay. It was average. What makes this a 4 out of 6 for me is the complete shock that I had of seeing Samoa Joe turn on Hangman, which is really funny because I was watching the pay-per-view with my friend, and literally seconds before that turn happened, I was saying to myself, there's no way that the Ops, especially Shibata, he's not going to turn heel. And then it happened. So the shock factor in that brings it a 4 out of 6 for me. Hangman does retain, but Samoa Joe turns on him at the end after shaking his hand. He clotheslines him, gives him a muscle buster. The guys beat him down. We'll see where this goes. But yeah, a 4 out of 6 for the AEW Championship match. The next 4 out of 6 match will be the Mercedes Open Challenge. The only reason why it's a 4 out of 6 is, one, I really think the Mina Open Challenge, her being the one that challenged her, it was kind of a letdown in a way. I was expecting a debut. I've said on my channel who I was expecting it to be, just for it to be someone not only in-house already, but an interim champion at that. Kind of a letdown, and that really, really dropped it for me. The match itself was fine. Mercedes can go in the ring. Say what you want about her. She has really good matches. And Mina also, can't discredit her. It was a good match, slightly above average match, but I can't put it any higher mainly for that. Mercedes ends up victorious. She gets her 11th belt, and I believe, as I'm recording this today, I saw that Mercedes now has 12 belts, which is absolutely fucking insane. But 4 out of 6 cans of whoop ass for that match. And now we're going to get to the 5 out of 6 cans of whoop ass matches, where most of the matches actually land here because there were so many fucking good matches on this pay-per-view. Like I said at the beginning of the video, it is hard for AEW to put on a bad show. They truly are where the best wrestle. All of these matches that I'm about to mention in the 5 out of 6 cans of whoop ass category, you could take any of them and put it up against any of the best matches that WWE put on this year, and it competes with it, if not exceeds it. And that's just my honest opinion. Starting with the Jurassic Express victory over the Young Bucks. Their entrance was absolutely hilarious to Young Bucks. There's a little snippet right there of showing how much exact money that they have left. The fan reaction, them chanting, "You're broke," or I can't remember what it was, but they chanted something about them being broke, which was hilarious. The crowd was so fucking insane for this match. The reactions. I love Jungle Boy, or I should say Jungle Jack Perry is what he goes by now, and Luchasaurus. I love their finisher. Really fucking cool looking and just painful looking tag team finisher that they have. They come out victorious against the Young Bucks. I thought the Young Bucks were going to continue to win $100,000 and just keep, blowing through the money on BTE, which I thought would have been a funny little, comedic storyline to go with for a little while on there, but I guess it'll probably just be one and done. Jurassic Express comes out on top. This was a 5 out of 6 cans of whoop-ass match, like I said, the first of a few from the card, and it was just a very memorable tag match. Next, we'll get on to another tag match. I think all but the Hurt Syndicate tag matches were all great. We're going to talk about Bandito and Brody King, Brodito, retaining the titles against Okada and Takeshita. What I was expecting for weeks on my channel is starting to happen. We see a slow burn, a slow turn of Takeshita turning face. He will be the one to challenge Okada for the unified belt, probably at Revolution in a few months, and beat him. I'm going on record. I've said that in a few other videos, but if that's the first time you've heard it, he is going to beat Okada at Revolution. We saw Okada accidentally give him a clothesline and actually smile at it. And later on, when they lost, Takeshita you could tell he was contemplating, like, why in the hell am I in a group of guys where their main guy, pretty much, besides Fletcher anyway, is just an asshole to me and basically puts me beneath him. I'm going to break out from this group, from these guys, and prove them wrong. I'm going to take that belt off of him. That's probably what's going through the mind of Takeshita after that match, after they failed to capture the AEW tag titles. The match was really, really good. I never thought I'd like the pairing of Bandito and Brody King as much as I do, and I feel like there's other people that probably feel that way too, especially after Malachi Black going back to WWE as Aleister Black. We haven't really seen Buddy Matthews at all. I think he's still recovering from an injury, if I'm not mistaken. Where was Brody King going to be involved in AEW? Where was he going to fit? Well, he fits very damn well with Bandito. Brodito retains 5 out of 6 cans of whoop-ass. The women's championship match was really, really good. Toni Storm, Chris Statlander. Statlander ends up retaining Toni Storm. We saw a snippet backstage later on in the night after that match where she just didn't know what she could do going forward. Mina comes in and consoles her. They're likely going to enter in that women's tag team championship tournament bracket that's going to get announced on Dynamite. They're probably going to be heavily favored to win it, or at least make it to the finals. Really good storytelling, long-term storytelling already starting to play off there. Chris Statlander retains the title in a really, really good 5 out of 6 cans of whoop-ass AEW Women's Championship match. Next, we'll talk about Fletcher versus Briscoe TNT Championship match. Also, a 5 out of 6 cans of whoop-ass. Really, really, really good TNT Championship match. I think Fletcher, I know he has only had it for a few months, I believe. I think already, though, he has made the TNT belt more impactful and more meaningful than any other champion previous to him. I know Adam Cole had it a couple of times, Garcia, Sammy Guevara, just to name a few. I know there's a lot more than that. There's something about Kyle Fletcher, and maybe I'm biased because I've said on my channel how much I really like Fletcher, but he just has that aura. He makes the title mean something, and every title match that he's had so far with that belt has been a fucking banger. He comes out on top, retains the belt against Briscoe in a gnarly finish with that, it was like a neck breaker onto the top turnbuckle or whatever it was that he did. Really, really good match. It went like 25 minutes. Mark Briscoe deserves praise too. He looked damn good in that match. This is a 5 out of 6 cans of whoop-ass. The Don Callis family is the best faction in pro wrestling right now, as you can see. Pretty much everyone in that group has got some meaningful title or is at least impactful in some way. And I'd argue that both Kyle Fletcher and Okada right now are two of the best champions in all of pro wrestling right now. And they're both in the same group. And that brings us to a perfect 6 out of 6 cans of whoop-ass match. I rarely give this out, but that main event where Darby Allin ended up beating Jon Moxley in the I Quit match. It's hard to have a perfect match, so it's not actually a perfect match, but it's damn close. It's as close as you can get. The only nitpick that I probably have is that we didn't hear Moxley say the words I quit on the microphone or anything handed to him by the ref, and the ref just basically had to end it at the end. But we got fucking Sting back, and I'm going to be honest, for a split second, I thought it was Killer Cross. But seeing Sting come back, he looks fucking cool with the all silver, white facial hair. beard and the hair and everything. Almost a passing of the torch, a passing of the bat. See what I did there? To Darby Allin as he handed him his bat after he wailed on the rest of the Death Riders. Darby Allin beats the shit out of him with the bat. He chokes him with the AEW flag. He drags him across real glass, CM Punk. Watch out. He drags him across real glass. And then puts him in a scorpion deathlock. And eventually makes him say, I quit. That's a fucking poetic and perfect end to a pay-per-view. Not quite as good, but pretty damn close to as good as All In when Adam Page beat Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley is a great fucking worker. He's putting over all kinds of people in 2025. And maybe that was part of the Death Rider storyline all along. He gets the belt. He hides it from everybody for a long time, the fans. And then someone truly meaningful, impactful to the company, like Hangman, beats him for it. And then one of the pillars of AEW has a great feud with him. That promo last Wednesday before the show was so fucking good. And that 3-hour special that they had. And it just led up to a stellar main event. The match itself was 5 out of 6. The reason why I'm giving the whole thing a 6 out of 6 was a Sting return towards the end. Was just a perfect moment. The fans went nuts. I fucking lost it. Seeing Sting was great. I missed him. I've said it behind closed doors off my channel many times to people how much I miss seeing Sting in AEW. And he showed up to help Darby Allin beat Jon Moxley. Overall, if you add up all those scores, I believe that's going to be a 5 out of 6 average score for AEW Wrestledream, and that seems very fitting because so many matches were 5 out of 6 cans of whoop ass for me. Very few or less than that, and we had one as perfect as you can get main event, in my opinion. My next video, I'm going to go over some stuff that I saw that, you know, some AEW haters say that it went too far with the fish tank. They can fuck off. They can go, you know, cry me a river, as Jack Perry would say, and stick to their PG crap. You know, if parents don't want their kids to watch it, you don't have to have them watch it. It's pay-per-view. Be a better parent instead of complaining on social media. But I'll get more into that on a later video. But 5 out of 6 cans of whoop ass for AEW Wrestledream. That's all I had on this video on Screw the Script. You let me know down below. What was your favorite match? What were your top 3 matches if you can't pick one? Where do you think all of these storylines are going to go? How are they going to progress coming up here on Dynamite? Let me know down below those answers, and I will kindly respond back to you as soon as I can. As always, this has been Maverick with Screw the Script. Thanks for watching.